So, let's start off our debut episode by talking about the teenage sensation who has completely changed the darting world. Since reaching the final in his PDC World Championship debut, Luke Littler has put darts back on the map and has gotten it reaching new and unimaginable audiences. His impact has been felt across multiple generations, but particularly by those born after the year 2000, as more and more people under the age of 24 are taking up darts more than ever before because of Luke's run to the final. So, to get a true grasp of how much Luke Littler has impacted people to watch and get involved with darts, I asked the young people of his hometown of Warrington what they think of him and whether he's influenced them to watch darts. And as you just heard there, it's very clear how much of an impact Luke has had on young people, particularly young people who would have never really have gotten into the sport if it wasn't for his run to the final back in January. It's a true testament to how good he is, because in order to get people who don't know about the sport, who aren't interested in the sport, interested in it, you've got to be good. And that's a true testament to his talent, the fact that he was able to get people who aren't interested in the sport interested in it and avidly watching it as they are now. I think this is one of the rare occasions in sport in general where you'll see someone at such young age, 16 years old, when he got to that final. I don't think we'll see something like this for a very long time in sport. Someone as young as Luke, just turned 17, literally, I think a couple of days before, 1 or 2 days before the World Championship final. Someone his age, someone so young, because he's not even an athlete, he's still a child. Someone so young doing what he did, getting to what effectively is the pinnacle of the sport. The World Championship in darts is the pinnacle of darts. PDC World Championship is the pinnacle. And for someone like him to get to the pinnacle of the sport so quickly, it's just absolutely incredible. I mean, people even who watched darts avidly and knew how good Luke was at such a young age, winning youth events in the BDO and the WDF, being a multiple-time JDC World Championship and completely dominating the circuit there, would not have expected him to perform so well. Maybe they probably would have thought, oh, we'll get to the third round and lose to James Wade or something like that. But he just completely stormed it and played exceptionally well throughout. You could say that he had an easy draw. His toughest test came in the fourth round against Barney. The easiest possible draws that he could have got out of that, he did get out of it. And it all sort of opened up for him. But just because it opens up for you doesn't mean you still don't have to perform at a high level and play well to get through those matches, and he did just that. And one thing Luke is really good at, and I think he learned this, he was able to learn this as a youngster, as a 12, 13-year-old, because at that age he wasn't the main youth star that people thought would be the next Phil Taylor. Leighton Bennett was that next big young star who people thought, oh, he's going to be the next big thing. He's going to be the next Phil Taylor. He was going off playing Phil Taylor himself at the Tower of London, being touted by the media as the next big thing. And whilst that was going on, Luke was just allowed to sit back, sort of in Leighton's shadow, and sort of play his own game and develop as a player without the pressure of having to perform every single event. And even now, since this pressure has been brought onto him, he's been able to sort of answer to that pressure and not crumble under it, because since the World Championship he's gone and won the Bahrain Darts Masters, he's dominated the Pro Tour, he's won Euro Tours, he's now in the Premier League final, won 4 weekly nights, topped the league phase by a mile, and it just seems like there's no limit for this kid, and it's just absolutely incredible. I don't think we'll see this in any other sport for a long, long time. And if I'm totally honest, I can't see this run ending of Luke's winning everything and constantly. In darts, no one ever thought there'd be another Phil Taylor. But there's a good possibility right now with the way Luke's playing and the way he's just completely destroying everyone and how well he's playing in every single match. I wouldn't be surprised if we do see another Phil Taylor in Luke Littler. And fair play to him, he absolutely deserves it. All the praise he gets and all the attention. And speaking of the media attention, actually, I think he's dealt with that really, really well. Because when something big happens in sport, when something historic and monumental happens in sports, the media, as they are doing their job, will always latch onto it. And some outlets sort of take it a bit too far, further than others, and start reporting on everything, every event, every little movement, every little comment he says, every little movement he does, just to get a story, just to get sort of people viewing articles on their site about him, because it's Luke Littler, his next big thing. People want to know about him all the time. And I think of the way he's dealt with that media attention just shows how mature he is. Because I know a lot of players would not have dealt with having every single result reported on like he has, every single loss scrutinised. And I think the way he's dealt with that is just incredible again. Someone his age shouldn't be able to deal with it as well as he is. And it just shows how mature he is and how confident he is in himself, that he's not going to let that affect him and affect his performances. Well, speaking of the media, former PDC tour card holder Matthew Edgar has recently transitioned into commentary and punditry roles after spending his longest period off tour since he joined it in 2011. And I spoke to him about his time on tour and his transition from a professional player to a pundit.